AV SuperFriends on Topic is an independent production wholly owned and operated by AV SuperFriends, LLC. For the highest quality recording of all of our shows, visit avsuperfriends.com.
If you're listening only to AV SuperFriends on Topic once a month, you missed all this good stuff on our other show, Off the Rails. In April, we covered with alarming confidence why everything is expensive, everything is connected to the network, and apparently everything now needs to be either AI-powered or cloud-enabled. We talked AV over IP, cloud dashboards, interoperability, and the bold fantasy that manufacturers will someday play nicely together without immediately ruining it with licensing, branding, or premium edition nonsense. Then we moved on to why your just throw a TV on the wall project costs real money, because power, data, mounts, pathways, support, code compliance, and reality continue to be deeply inconvenient. And then NAB happened, so naturally we discussed NDI, HDCP, SMPTE 2110, production AV crashing into presentation AV, weird production robots, and BIAMP's 50th anniversary, including factory tours, anechoic chambers, and an electric Hummer behaving exactly like a rental decision made by AV people. Catch up at avsuperfriends.com because whatever you did instead was probably less informative and somehow more poorly documented.
This is AV SuperFriends on Topic, a 30-minute monthly roundtable focused on a single topic. This discussion will be opinionated, to the point, and saturated with our well-known blend of painfully won expertise and deeply ingrained immaturity. For May 2026, it's the best-sounding and most begrudgingly event-focused podcast in higher ed. This is the AV SuperFriends on Topic, episode number 71. Broadcasting live from behind the pipe and drape, under the skirted table, and somewhere out near the loading dock where guys are smoking. We're supporting events we were told would be simple, easy, and definitely would not need reinforcement with a cart full of adapters, a heart full of resentment, and a lav pack we're watching slowly die in real time. I'm Chris Tector. You tuned in for another Friday afternoon podcast adventure with the AV SuperFriends. And let's say hello to that panel. They're over there. You can see them.
Over here.
Darn it, this moved my buttons around when I did that.
I forgot about that stupid robot, that production robot. I can't stop laughing about that damn thing. That's so weird.
Our first panelist attends meetings to confirm that other meetings should probably have happened first. He's a senior liaison for initiative alignment from Kansas City. Say hello to Mr. Jamie Reinhardt.
I prefer senor liaison.
Senor liaison.
There we go.
You're Spanish French. Our next panelist ensures every simple process needs at least 3 approvals and has one mysterious unnamed stakeholder. He's a director of strategic friction management from Corvallis, Oregon. Say hello to Mr. Mark Kolozinski.
It's heating up. A lot of red tape to get through, but I'm making sure we're going to get through all of it.
Just the red tape, though.
Wrap it up.
Our next panelist makes sure everything is both a top priority and somehow delayed until next quarter. He's a manager of sustainable urgency from Greensboro, North Carolina. Say hello to Mr. Larry Darling.
And if everything is on fire, then nothing is.
That sounds like the ADA projects right now.
I like that sustainable urgency. That has a real nice twang to it.
And our final panelist maintains the department's general sense of forward motion without actually requiring measurable progress. He's a vice president for operational estimates from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Say hello to Mr. Justin Rexing.
I'm trying to forward motion in these notes and it ain't working. So we're going to wing this show today. I don't know. I don't know what's going
notes?
on. Yeah.
Apparently, Justin is asking AI to do things for him right now.
I'm locked out of my account.
Again.
Oh, like Jamie.
You hit the cap. You're done.
Well, yeah, I've got 3 Google identities, and I think one got mixed up with the
Only
other.
3?
That's only those are amateur numbers, brother. You need to get that
know.
up.
You need to pump those numbers up.
This seems to
That's
be a
all I can
trend. I
handle.
got locked out earlier this week.
I can't.
That's because you never
handle
log
more
in.
than
It's
3.
like, who the heck's that in Missouri?
I can barely keep up with the 3
Chris
I
is
got. I
like,
already lost one.
Are we being hacked? No, I was locked out again.
I didn't say that. I just said, why am I getting all these security notifications? You're
Is
like,
that
I
me?
can't remember my platform.
Right now?
No, that was me the
Oh.
other day.
What?
Okay.
What is happening? What is
It's the
happening
Midwest
right now?
thing.
Well, you
We
might
just
get a
don't know how
few
to
more
use
security
Google.
notifications here in a second.
All right, sorry. I'm distracted
We got a
as
show to do,
I
though.
am producing show content right now. Let's see if this works. No, it didn't work. Why didn't that not work?
Did it work? I didn't hear it.
Oh, wait.
There's
All right,
more.
Jamie in the overlay.
Oh, it's a
What?
different thing. We
just
have
made this right now. So
this is
a surprise?
this is live production at its finest.
doing
right
stuff
here.
in the background. Anyway, I still got to do a whole freaking show here. There's a show running, and apparently I'm in charge of it. On today's show, we're going to discuss spaces that are classrooms but shouldn't be, and events getting hosted in our classrooms, and some off-site stuff. But first, a little bit of housekeeping. First of which is this show right now, happening right now. Bit of a format change. This show. This is the first time that I can recall that we've ever done an on-topic for the month of the month we're actually in that month.
In the month we're actually in.
This is
Usually
that
we're in the
month.
future.
Yeah.
I don't do calendars well.
We all know this. Mr. Checkuary. So
Listen,
we're doing a bit of a
going on?
format change. We have decided that, sorry, folks, those who really, 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 really liked First Friday,
Which I did.
Larry did, but it's probably going away. We're now going to give you 2 on topics every month. So you can now get 2 on topics, you get 2 off the rails, and then when there's those weird Fifth Fridays, we're going to jam in that Fifth Friday show. Or
Does this
something.
mean I get a raise for more
No.
shows?
I got a raise, but you did not.
you're currently vice president. You don't get a raise till
Yeah,
somebody
Mr.
dies.
Sustainable whatever things. What are
You
we?
just
I
get
was
stock
in charge of
options.
the money. Wasn't I the CFO or something?
No, you're in charge of operational estimates. So
Oh,
anyway, so moving forward, we're going to do 2 on topics a month. So the first usually the first Friday of a month will be an on topic, which we will then get published out shortly thereafter. We will still do an on topic midway through the month live that we then publish on the first of the month, the following month. So for those of you paying attention, today is also May 1st, which means today you're getting
May-
2 on topics because one published about 3 hours ago.
It's May Day.
And you get this on topic. So there's
Wow.
2 on topics happening right now. On the
How
same-
much
the same day.
more am I going to have to pay for this, Chris?
Let me tell you how much this is going to cost you. Nothing. But you have to go do donations. So,
But there's more.
but there's more.
If you act right now, this one,
Then we'll do a third on topic
we'll do another show
today.
at some point. Yeah. Sorry.
today. Right after this show, we'll do another one. So we would like to see you throw in some donations though, because you're getting all sorts of quality content here. And hopefully you heard that that thing we're going to start doing these what you missed on the other show. So if you only listen to this, if you are subscribed to a feed wherever you happen to be finding said feed that has only this show on it, we do an entire other slate of shows and interviews and conference presentations and all sorts of stuff that you're not seeing or hearing. So please go over to our website, avsuperfriends.com, and there you'll find all the links to all of that stuff and subscribe to one of those feeds. So, and speaking of conference presentations,
Oh, speaking of,
was it 2 days ago? When was this?
it
Yes,
seemed
yes.
like
No.
Technically, it was like
Yesterday.
a day and a half because
Yeah.
we were kind of overnight in the midnight.
Yeah, we did it
so-
for
depends on who
Australia,
you were talking
so-
to. Yeah, it was an
was
evening
that 2 days
event,
ago?
allegedly.
At some point earlier this week, for our Australian and New Zealand audience, for our friends, our Aussies and Kiwis, we did a presentation on AI, and we took 3.5 hours of content and smashed it down to 3 hours and 8 minutes.
I had to talk so fast.
And then, yes, we had
It's a lot.
lots of stuff there.
We took a whole day's worth of presentation, turned it into one markdown file, and just read that for 45 minutes.
Ugh.
So we presented on kind of the currently what we're seeing in AI. We tried to do some demo, or didn't try to. We did some demos. We had to cut some
You
out just for
demoed?
time and stuff. There was a lot of things going on there, but we did that in partnership with ETC and AETM and SCOMS as far as the first global world higher ed AV technology demonstration day, whatever it was called.
AV Farm Aid.
Yeah, it was Farm Aid. It was Hands
Ah.
Across AV. That's what it was.
I got notes. I'm in.
You finally remembered how to log in. So, all right. So go look for that. I know those sessions were recorded. I'm sure they will be published. Look for those links. We'll certainly blast them out on the socials when we see them as well. But good time was had by all. All right. Now, if you are listening to this, I've got my whole spiel here. I'm going to
Are
blast
you all
through it.
lined up now? You got your timeline correct?
No, but I'm just going to do it anyway.
Oh, okay.
If you're listening to this as a recorded
for
MP3, we do stream live on Fridays at about 3:15 Eastern, 12:15 Pacific, or whenever Jamie finishes pretending that supporting off-campus events is still technically part of the job. You can join us for that live on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you can't join us live, we'd love for you to connect on the socials. Please follow AV SuperFriends on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Blue Sky. That's where you're going to find all our updates, episodes, podcasts, blah, 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 links, probably some evidence. We have some free time and whatnot. So please don't forget to spread the word. Share this podcast with friends, colleagues, enemies, campus partners, external affiliates, advisory councils, community stakeholders, and any mysterious special event groups that somehow have no budget, no plan, no technical content, yet still need 6 wireless microphones, live streaming, overflow audio, confidence monitor, and emotional support by 7 a.m. tomorrow. If you want to support the show, please consider donating. Your contributions help us to keep bringing you the honest content you love or love to hate, whichever it may be, with or without us having to invoice a nonprofit ballroom luncheon for one technician, 2 hours, and permanent psychological damage. The donation note is in the links below and on the website. We do want to hear from you, especially if you have questions, comments, show ideas, or a binding legal agreement explaining why off-campus should mean not our problem. Till then, remember, we do support the mission, even when that mission is a community breakfast in a building with no network, no power, and a lectern that was last seen used during the Carter administration. So we do thank you for your support.
We're not doing anything major in there. I mean, the president and the dean's going to come, though. So, yeah, it should be fun.
Your level is all over the place again. So whatever you're doing.
Come on, man. Jeez.
Mark is off-site today, and his audio levels are audio leveling themselves.
I don't know, but I feel like I need to go to the store and pick up some new micro machines.
Those are so fun.
Yes, that's what this is about. All right.
Micro machines.
Did we decide which one of these 5 things I'm running here? Probably
the
Justin,
good one.
Not your
Just
favorite
click
one.
the button.
Okay. Jamie, you ready?
Go.
And now, Quiet Contemplations by Miles Dante.
Sometimes people say the system should just work. I agree. Also, birds should carry tiny pizzas to hungry people. But until either of those things happen, maybe stop unplugging cables.
You all can blame Larry for all of these. I've got like 15 of them.
No,
Larry said we should do deep thoughts, but for AV Super Friends. So there's like 15 of those coming.
They really need to have some kind of transition.
I want a calendar. I think at Infocom we need to have a calendar with all of those sayings on it.
Oh, you want to do a printed calendar?
A printed calendar.
One of the bricks with 365 days.
Yes.
On it. So
all right, Larry. Okay. Every time we come up with an idea, we got to transport stuff, and no one thinks about this. So whoever thinks of the idea now has to
and we also come up with the idea about a month before Infocom every year when there's not enough time.
I heard that our vice president of operations was going to take care of that for us.
Who the hell is that?
You.
What?
What? Yes, you.
Yeah, you. You're the only vice president.
Now that we're halfway through this show.
Yes. All right. So now that we are that far in, let's run this.
The topic of the month.
Stupid birds with pizza.
Stay on topic.
All right. So the overall topic for today's discussion is about it started with spaces that are classrooms but probably shouldn't be, and event spaces that are actually classrooms where people hold events because they don't get charged for using a classroom space. And then this kind of grew into like, well, what about all these event spaces that are sort of not really on campus, but they're connected to campus? And how are we doing support for that? And what's going on? So
the worst of everything, which is, that's the bucket we're talking about today, right? Just like the bad part.
So I've got many. Who's got spaces that are classrooms? Classes are held in these spaces, but they should not be classrooms.
See, mine are a little different than that. I don't really have that exact problem with the way you worded it. I have a little bit of a different problem.
In a different language?
Well, we do have a few of those.
During new projects, people like to throw classrooms into buildings they don't belong in, like dorms, without really vetting that through.
Yeah. Yeah. And every dorm on campus has one.
We build it as a classroom, and once it becomes an actual room, then it's never a classroom anymore because the registrar's like, nah, wait,
you can't get in there. You don't have access.
We're not doing that. And then so it's like a meeting room, and it's like multi-purpose, and it's used
the
for
multi-purpose
events.
room. Yes,
but it never actually holds class, but it was called a classroom.
See, our dorm classrooms actually do hold classes. Like there are credit hours in them.
Yeah, ours
have a few. Most of the classes
ours don't get scheduled like that yet.
We don't have a lot of dorms either, but because we're more of a essentially, so we have a lot of
commuter.
Where do you keep your students?
They just wait. They just wait outside.
They don't. They live off campus.
When they're done with them at the end of the day, they box them back up and put them away.
Where do they go? Go underground?
Wherever they go. Some of them probably do live underground.
Okay.
Yeah, but a lot of the classes that happen in like the dorm classroom are they're more focused on the student life stuff. It's STD awareness or that kind of thing.
Like with demonstrations, or what's going on with that one?
Look, there are times where
Nope. It's not today. We have a commercial for that, but not today.
No.
We do have a commercial for that.
It's not
Larry,
quite
can
hot
I run
desking.
that commercial?
Are you okay?
Not
Jesse?
today.
Not quite hot desking.
Okay.
But they do have like abuse awareness, that kind of thing. Those are the kind of classes they hold in the dorm rooms. But look, I don't care, whatever. Give them a small presentation, let them do their thing. Then they're playing Xbox in there, and they're not playing Xbox in the regular classrooms.
That's what it ultimately comes down to. Plugging the HDMI in, plugging the Xbox in.
And
They actually don't do that. We were told they do that, and we put TVs in all these dorms and public spaces because that's what they wanted. So we were like, I don't believe you. So we started tracking that with the button presses on the Crestron button panels. No one ever, all they used was channel up and down for cable TV. No one ever went over to the extra HDMI.
Do you guys have cable TV on campus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's another whole topic of show.
Yeah, it is.
And we gotten rid of a lot of it, but it's still here.
So
get rid of more of it.
What if you reverse that and say you have classrooms, aka auditoriums, that they want to always be some sort of special event? It kind of, in the evenings, we want to have the governor, or we want to have the local business community.
That happens.
The governor, of course, being some sort of local Kansas City like crime fighter, right?
He wears a purple cape sometimes, but yeah. So we have a couple of those because we don't really have a full like a theater space for that. So we do have a lot, and those are the weird ones
your
too.
Performing Arts Center with big stage and all sorts of
That's
stuff.
Performing Arts Center. That's not.
You're not allowed in there, sir.
But that's
So we have
different.
an
We're saying
adjacent one to the Performing
we're saying
Arts.
classrooms that are being used for this thing. Performing Arts Center is meant to have this kind of display.
Well, do you get those things where it's like it's a performing arts and that's its primary mission, but then we're like, oh, but we're gonna have classes in there also.
Yes, those suck.
I think that's the
I've done
worst
that
piece
too.
of this is that when you have a space that's predominantly designed to do something else, and then like off the top rope comes like, oh man, but we're gonna have a class in here too, so we need all that stuff.
Yeah,
that's always it always
we have
rides
a
in as the
screen
extra
that we
thing.
can use. But don't you have a stage, a lifting kit for like scenery and things? Yeah, but we'll just put a screen on it and we'll just use that.
And then we'll bring it out when we'll roll it all out before classes and put it. And when you say who,
well, no. Usually, it's not that we'll bring it all out. It's more of a sort of thing.
night
And
crew
then
will come in
it
and do
can
that.
be moved around. And I always ask, who's doing that? Because
who's the they than which you are speaking of?
Jamie, you tried that in the library, the divisible space between classes, and it became a whole thing.
I enjoy the ticket of especially these performing arts ones. Well, we need the podium to be moved off the stage. Okay, well, you have this little bundle of cable. They're color coded. It's power and two other ones. You have to plug them in. Well, we took the podium off, then we brought it back on, and it didn't work. Did you plug
We
it
have
in?
all these extra cables.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Did you need these?
It's wireless now.
It's color coded.
You made the assumption I can see colors, or that's on you.
Yeah.
We made it easy.
And labeled.
Well, and it's even like for this one in particular, like the speakers were SpeakerCon, and the network jack was a network jack, and then power was power, and then there was one other, and they were all different, and they could only fit in the same one. And how did you not able to do this?
The average person, every one of those connectors you just rattled off are the exact same thing.
They're all the same.
They're all exactly the same.
This is the performing people.
Doesn't matter. The instructor's not.
Yes, they are. They're smart.
They are performing, yes, but
they
not very
told
well.
me that they could do this and they could handle this and they're smart. By God, they have a PhD. So, Mark, what you're telling me
it was
is they
different at
can't.
the community college where I got my degree. They didn't have all this whiz-bang stuff you guys have at these fancy state colleges.
Listen, so after 20 years, you're finally telling me that that's not accurate?
No, not at all. I did one of those spaces when I was at my last place at IU, and it was an auditorium that they did music production in the evenings.
Oh boy!
And I said, okay, I'll do this, but your audio board is being routed out of the system as soon as somebody touches the touch panel. When you hit the touch panel, it's a classroom. I am bypassing every bit of that. And it worked.
Until it didn't.
Yeah, well, no, it worked for classes. When they rented for their music things at night, I didn't care because that was somebody else's problem.
You can. I agree with Larry. You can design around that stuff.
You
Sometimes.
can design around
Oh,
it, but
you
usually
certainly
these things are,
can.
it was already there and then it was made into something else, or it was built this
Yeah,
way
that's a
and we're making
project.
it do that. Justin and
I was
That's a-
wondering when it
that's
was
a
gonna
new
be
project.
Of course it was.
That's not ours.
All right, so off-campus stuff.
The worst.
What do you do?
Even worse somehow. So yeah, I got a recent inquiry about this. We have a blah blah out in some county hundreds of miles away, and they're building a new building.
How big is it?
And we just
Far.
hundreds of miles, sir. and
you
that
can drive dozens of miles.
you can
Yeah.
drive,
Dozens.
just drive, yeah. And then it was like, well, we just want your standard thing, and it's like, you want the when you ask for a standard, I know what they're really asking for. They're asking for what's the
Mark's
lowest
like,
possible
which
distance.
standard? I've got
Which standard do you want,
72.
right? So, and it's not even an academic space. Like, we just need your classroom standards because the county is building this thing and they're somehow going to be in cahoots with the university. We want to make sure it's all the same stuff. And it's like, you're making a lot of assumptions here, buddy. Asking for the standard, that the standards are based on support. It's not just about the black boxes in totality. And I think that's where it all gets gacked up. Right? If I give you something that equates to a classroom here on this campus, which I can walk to, it means one thing. But for somebody to buy that same stuff and go install it in some performance venue across the state somewhere really means nothing. I think that's where a lot of the devil in the details start to emerge.
Do you have agreements where you do support those places?
MOAs. Need them. SLAs.
Do we have agreements? That's strong language.
Wrote
Putting
down.
into this.
Well, I mean, did you handshake? Did you?
No, they're in a different county.
Oh, we
100 miles
didn't,
away.
but somebody might have.
Yeah.
No, it's always the assumption that we're centralized. We're
Yeah.
going to support what we can, and we try the best effort at this, but it always becomes that afterthought, right? Oh, well, they're just going to do this, and we're running. Can you just give them the standard thing? And we want to say yes. We want to get to yes, but we know we're like, I don't know if I should do this, because then we're admitting like responsibility to this, right? If I give you this thing, now you're assuming I'm on board with what you're about to do, and I've somehow blessed this to happen. Well, Mark gave me the standard, we built that. If it's not, why can't you guys support it?
And they're also making the assumption that you can get the network, the security, the identity, all to work at that
All of
location.
stuff, exactly. And so it often is just looked at as all of our experience is this the sum total of a stack of black boxes in a corner of a room, right? And we all know that's not the case, but that's what the project wants it to be. And how do you inject that conversation? Because it's all about that support, like you said, Larry. If we don't have the full net of what we need to do it, then it go buy any black box and put it out there, because it's going to be the same scenario. Like, if we can't see it, we can't administer it, we really can't do you any good.
So what do? Do you turn them down? Do you have that support question? Do you give them what you have and say, good luck, buddy? How do you handle
This
it?
is where we've all painted ourselves in the corner of, you guys always just make this more complicated than it needs to be. That's
And
where
more expensive.
And that's where we have to own that identity. I mean, people project it onto us anyway, so just lean into it and let's make it more complicated than it needs to be, and then we can get to that wholesale conversation around support. Right? It's not the stuff, it's what happens afterward. And we have to get to that point. And sometimes this is the horse it rides in on. Saddle up and let's get uncomfortable.
Do you give alternates? Do you say, like, look, we're not going to give you the normal thing because of support issues, but this usually we found will work for people who don't know what they're doing?
I got a question. Do you even see the room?
Yeah. Yeah,
How
I
do you
always
do
meet
that?
the people in the room.
It would be a luxury for me to have
So,
seen this
Larry,
room
we're
before
opening a
this
campus
ask
in
comes
Phoenix. Could you drive down real quick and take a look at that?
Absolutely.
That's how it
Road
always
trip.
starts. It's coming out of a budget narrative. That's where it's all coming from. We're building a building and we need to know how much it's going to cost to do a classroom, or 10 or 15. And where it is kind of irrelevant. But to us, it is, right? It's like, well, where and how it's affiliated with the university and how it's using university resources becomes really important. It's not the black boxes that are in the corner. It's how are we getting our arms around it? If you ask me, what does it take to build a classroom? That's an easy conversation. But what does it take to support that classroom? That's a different conversation.
And usually at this point, like if they're coming to me, I can point them to opening a demand with ITS. And once that's there, I get all the appropriate people in and we can start having a bigger picture about supporting
I
them in
demand
there.
crap all the time. It doesn't mean anything's happening.
I want this. No, damn it. No, but so where it gets really tricky is that when you have centralized resources, right? So you talk about services like pick your collaboration platform that are affiliated with your university, and then you have these offsite venues that are moonlighting as university locations, but then during the day, well, they still need to be able to log in and have all the stuff. It's like, well, are they university folks? Well, no, we're just renting the space. Wait, you're renting the space? You're charging for that? This is a whole different paradigm now. And so it always is this multifaceted, very
and somehow
complicated
that
thing.
money never rolls back to those
Well,
of us
no,
who paid
we
for the
needed to
equipment.
keep the people working from home that are employed by that place.
Well,
Right.
Mark, so on these campuses, because we have campuses not a part of our main campus, but the IP address looks
This
a
is
lot
not a
like
campus
it's
at
on
all.
campus.
If it was campus affiliated, it'd be much easier.
That's what I was wondering. So
Sometimes.
they're paying for like their own ISP. They got their own networking equipment that may or may not be supported by your IT people. Like, what does that look like?
Sometimes it is commodity. Sometimes there's fiber out there. It's a mixed bag. I think in a perfect world,
DSL?
yes, it's correct. It looks like a university space, but that's not the case in every one of these county extension kind of locations. It's mixed, and the same can be said about the users. Like there's sometimes a lot of the users are not university affiliated whatsoever, and that's where it gets really
That part
complicated because
it's weird on those
our stuff
extension
sits at our like application level of integration, and when that is not there and you don't have access to that, the whole architecture falls apart.
Yeah. Because like
But there's going to be classes in there,
officers-
maybe.
the extension
Maybe.
officers here in Kentucky are weird in that they're pseudo affiliated with UK and Northern Kentucky, and they don't have University of Kentucky IP addresses on their network. They pseudo are supported by they got one person that travels around to 3 or 4 counties and like does a little bit of work on printers and computers, but that's about it.
I often have a hard time with that
Traveling
word.
snake oil person just
Yeah.
shows up
Yeah.
and
That word
And reboots
support.
things.
reboots thing, gets back on his wagon and
It's
off he
bad
goes.
because when you show up, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, remember those 2 problems that you came here for? Well,
Since you're
here's
here."
7 more because we're not going to see you for 2 weeks. Good luck." Oh man,
Can you help me with my email?
it's a lot of that.
Yeah, we have now. Most of mine are within the metropolitan of Kansas City. I do have an extension at Springfield and Columbia, but I mean we do a lot of times if it gets far enough along where we are going to try to help them, we do try to put in a VPN service. We do try to put it on our network. We do try to have a support agreement.
You just
And-
hide a wireless router in the rack somewhere. It's fine.
Yeah, we try to go through all the things and say, look, this is what we're going to do, and who's the point if we need that reboot thing. But we've had a pretty good success with that because again, a lot of the funding, the budget is system money anyway,
Yeah.
and they want to. It's a bonus to them to be part of the system, but they have to give up a little bit of that control. If they refuse to, then we kind of have the consultant's attitude where I'll hand them everything they need
Good luck.
and say, good luck. Do you want me to contact an integrator for you?
Yeah.
Because we're not doing it, but
Well, do you have versions of this that are actually on your campus? Because we also have this weird variant that exists that's actually on
Yeah.
our locations that are not
yeah.
necessarily university affiliated, but they're
Sort of.
somehow making use of university resources.
we have a museum, we have the radio station, we have some of these loosely related.
Usually they're for-profit entities on campus that
Yes,
are doing this
they're-
thing.
Like your food group, right? People who provide food.
Which
Well,
food
we don't
group
do
are you talking
anything
about?
for them.
Like four food
Like the
groups?
big,
Your
the big
food,
meat-
which of the 4 food groups?
Airmark?
Sugar.
one of them.
Oh, you got
Yes,
the sugar group shows up. Yeah.
we
So they don't have WKU emails, but they need our services. So that's
Yeah,
we've worked that out over the years through like
Mhm.
IT processes. But
and we have like the major Kansas City stage theater group rents our our performance theaters and things, and they do have some homes, but it's that weird relationship where they get a lot of our HR resources, but they're not necessarily affiliated, but they kind of are, but they're not, and we help them do this, but we don't get any control over what they do, and it's fine. Like this is a lawyer problem, but we do support some of those, but that's all built into that agreement. Like, okay, well, we're going to add this into your contract. You're going to pay the service agreement fees. It's usually nominal once you get to that point. And we support those as well. I just kind of treat it as that's why we're here. And even we've had the public library come in and ask us for stuff. And I've gone over to the public library and basically was Justin's favorite person, the consultant for them. And it's kind of like, well, hey, look, I don't want you guys to throw your money out the window. And, ultimately, I can't do anything here and support it because unless you sign the agreement, well, we're not going to. That's fine. Here's all the stuff. I did my part. Walk away, right?
It's weird because we've built out spaces on campus that are primarily around like conferences and services and like that kind of piece. And the ask is like, well, we want to have like whatever your standard stuff is. And it's like, okay, here we go. And so we build it out, we program it, we do the things, we put it on a network, and then it becomes like support time. And we're staring down administrative access. The group, they may have embedded folks that can do things, they need to be able to configure things, and they want to do a lot. And that's where it gets sticky. It's like, well, we're not really charged with supporting your space. We programmed it all. We did all the admin stuff. We did all this piece. Do we just hand that over to them? And it's like, well, here you go. And then we just erase our credentials and it's off and call me when it breaks. And then we get into the chargeback nation or
yes.
Like, I guess you all kind of seem to have
that's what I do,
more of a chargeback philosophical approach for your services. And maybe, we do as well, but we try to not invoke that the best we can, but I think maybe at some point you just have to. Is that kind of what it comes down to?
You have to.
You got
Some of
limited
these
resources.
you have to. Some of them you have to. We have to recoup some of that. And many of the times I look the other way, but most of them, you just have to with some of these. So I know, since we're getting towards the end, we've all been kind of agreeable to some of these places. Is anybody just not? Like, Justin, do you do this for other people, or is it, do you just tell people flat out, no, go away? Do you just hand them the local integrator?
Yeah.
To get into project.
Start a project. I'll do it. They're like, what do you mean by your question, though, specifically?
Well, like, if they come to you, they're not going to start a project.
Somewhere
They
else.
still want your thing. Do you just hand them, like, the business card of the local integrator, who may or may not be named the same as you? But do you just, like, hand them the card? Do you kick them off and say, hey, sorry, I can't help you because we don't support that?
We had a weird situation, and these things come and go to where there was a program that was affiliated with our campus. They had a contract, and they had WKU email addresses, and they were doing some special needs type stuff where they're education and things like that. They were completely off campus. They're doing really good work. They have a lot of grant money coming in, and they went through us to design and develop all their AV systems. And at the time when we did it, there was no issues with their contract, and they were going to stay on campus. And about last year, they parted ways with campus, and they still have all that stuff. And so they came to my business and asked, hey, can you support us? Yeah, that's easy. No problem. That rarely happens. It's usually the opposite, where somebody will have some system that we didn't know about at our South campus or in their Owensboro campus. We have all these regional campuses. But for the most part, any request for AV comes through a central point, and we get in our little vehicles and we drive up to Owensboro, about an hour away. All of our satellite campuses are about an hour away. So everybody's used to having to drive to all these places. Like, we could have an outage tomorrow and the network team has to drive up there and deal with it. So it's just built into our culture.
They can't
a
just
little
connect over
bit.
the network for that.
Yeah, seriously.
Well,
So does
most
anybody
of
just say
Saturday.
no? Do you just say no?
I mean, if the switch dies, you can't really,
Larry, do you ever just say no? Like, not our
we don't
gig,
really say
go somewhere
no.
else?
We put out documents that if the memorandum of agreement, MOA, we like to use that word instead of SLA. It's really an SLA. And if they don't like it, they just won't sign it, and then it's like this weird limbo.
I rarely say no, but there are times when I will suggest they go, with a person on a state contract. I was like, hey, you're not going to be able to work with the standard system that we have in place because of these variables. Like it's going to be better all the way around if you use this person on a state contract.
I've had recent projects that are that way as well, where it's just we didn't have the bandwidth to do it, but we recommended, it's like, hey, this outside's going to be your way.
We've never ever suggested a client go to an integrator for a solution for any request that we get ever.
It's usually not for the solution. Like, we'll still be involved in the design of it, like, just to make sure that, okay, if something happens in the future, we can support it. Like, you're not running some weird thing that has snuck on campus here.
If we do it that way, then, it kind of like what Mark's saying, it is about support, but to get it in there, we might hire an integrator and like the client doesn't know.
Yeah.
Like, they're still coming to us, but we're managing the 2 or 3 people that are sent. It's that labor contract that I'm talking about, which I'm actually rewriting right now, where they come up and work beside us and help us put the system in. So
I feel like the deployment part's the easy part. Like the stuff going in, that's easy peasy. It's day 2 things that really are where it gets bogged down. So
it's day 2, and then end of life systems too. Is there most of them when they come up are on one-time funds or something? Like, what's the life cycle look like? Like, do you have plans? And that's part of the reason I think that I still am in that chargeback game, is just so they understand, okay, this is going to get more and more expensive on year 8. Like, it's time to start thinking about reducing that by putting in a new system in.
So it sounds like, yes, we all have these random situations, and they're not pretty, and we do the best we can. We try to wrap some language around it. We best effort it, and we hold our nose and jump in.
I wouldn't say we best effort it.
It works. It works out.
We
effort it.
We put
100% whole half-assed.
Quarter-ass, maybe.
Quarter-ass, maybe at best. Okay. So I'm not alone then. That makes you feel better.
No.
It's cathartic, I guess. Is that I'm not alone in this endeavor of trying to figure out how to tie up
weird supported
random
spaces.
spots. Yeah. Both on and off campus. The easy things are easy. It's these weird
on
ones.
and off campus groups at random times that people can just use for some sort of charge. Where does that charge go? Doesn't hit my
Shut up, Chris. You don't worry about that.
No.
Mind your business. Also, this camera's
money.
broken. Please replace it today.
There's going to be a teen in here. We need it to work.
Yes.
We have an event tomorrow morning. This needs to work.
It's very important.
Do I get to have breakfast? No.
No,
I'm not going to make it.
No extra food for you. We're gonna start off with the breakfast keynote.
Mm-hmm.
You do not get any.
That starts at 6 a.m. You're going to have to come in before that. So, and you need to be done wrapped by 5:30.
You need to be out. We do not want to see you.
Weird. This thing's just not going to work till I eat.
If I had some eggs, maybe I would fix
You sound like a TV truck, Jamie.
Be like,
All right. Any other last thoughts on these weird spaces that shouldn't be classrooms but are, or shouldn't have events but do, or these groups who are using your spaces without you somehow knowing, and they need all this stuff by 3 p.m.
Mm-hmm. And you guys can move to the lectern, right? And you're going to come back and put it back when
we have a
it's all
different
over?
lectern, so we unplugged this one.
Yeah, we travel with our
projectors don't turn on
own?
anymore though. So
Yeah.
I don't like your lectern.
I like it. Can I have a transparent one with the technology?
Ooh,
The acrylic?
and with all the technology in it. Yes, you can. It's all wireless.
Sure.
I don't
Why
wanna
is it
see
so
any cables.
ugly? We don't want to see any of the wires. Then don't get a transparent lectern.
Mm-hmm.
I like how all those transparent lecterns, by the way, everyone likes that look of them, that kind of very, very TV style
Do
look
they
sort of
like
thing. And
that?
after a few years, all like the glue and the hinges start, so they
It's yellow. Like it when it starts to turn different colors.
All the UV breakdown. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, let's roll out of here. We'll be back next week with a
With something
an
else.
off the rails show
We'll
about
make up a
something
new
with
show.
stuff and things.
Yeah.
Why is this not playing?
I don't know. Maybe it's hooked to my auto mixer that's going haywire over here.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, sure is.
No, there's a
There's an update. some firmware.
No, this
Justin,
is
this is when you should sing the outro.
yeah. Sing the
Okay.
outro, Justin.
Start the outro.
Yeah, this is very
Da-dun.
strange.
Good show, guys. Everybody on the floor, over there in space.
Let's leave
The
it just like this.
ISP,
We're not even gonna
everybody
fix it
did
in
well
post.
today. Thank you, except
Yeah,
for Mark's
this-
microphone.
Yeah, sorry about that. For whatever it's worth,
Apparently, my entire effects rig has been disconnected from the call. That's cool.
we've managed to ruin yet another episode of On Topic.
Oh, whatever. Go to the website. We'll add this in. And no, just leave it like this. Screw it. We'll do something in post. If I could get this anything to load here, but nothing's loading. Cool.
See y'all later.
See ya.
See ya.